MCFB Live 151. Can you guys believe that? We're coming up to 3 years since Facebook Live launched. In search of awesome, we're always hanging out in Facebook cyberspace, always hanging out on Instagram to see who is the next Jedi that's just crushing it using social. Tonight's guest, Sarah Brookshire, I hung out with you at her at the symposium. She works at, she's a level 3 at Dr. Fly's Salon in Joplin, Missouri. Owner Robin Paul, thank you for allowing us to interview her. She is, and Robin's the coach on her own salon as well. So I've been hanging out with those guys for many moons. Let me tell you why I invited her to come in. Her story is amazing, and I don't want to take any of the wind out of it, but I think you're going to find it to be interesting. She, first of all, she's a level 3. She's 30, and she's just getting into the game. So she was into life before she decides to do this major pivot late into her 30s. She's doing about $300 a day. Average ticket is $94. Haircut price is $39. 17 referrals a month. You guys count that up. She's trending to do over 200 referrals this year. Rebooking just under 65%. She's an associate in 2017, and you know she's going through it, and in 18 at over 21 a year at 18 hours while she's going to Esti school, by the way, which she's going to tell you. And I didn't want to list this because I didn't want to take it away, but I gotta give it to you now. She's trending to triple her income this year, so she's going to go from that to about 60. Because she's this far from getting her Esti license as well as her hairdresser's license. I'm going to let her, tell you about that as we go along. So her story is amazing. She graduates from high school in '05, decides she's going to pursue a 4-year degree in finance and accounting, does a handful of years in that, and just it's not speaking to her soul. So at late 20-something, decides that she's going to go to a cosmetology school at City Point in Joplin, which is the Summit school, by the way. Starts working in a Summit salon. She gets very, very inspired working the associate program and says, I want to go and get my esthetician's license as well. As you're going to see, she's as much of a Jedi in Esti as she is in hairdressing, and I can probably count the number of Summit service providers that have both those going. It's like pouring nitroglycerin on a bonfire. But I'm going to let her tell you about that. You want to start following her on Instagram and Facebook. It's Sarah_Dr. Flies. I'll bring her pages up tonight as she's walking us through it. She hangs out an iPhone. Anytime she's doing photo shoots, she uses portrait mode. If you go to her Instagram page, it's about 425 followers. Third of her guests follow her. The overwhelming majority of her 17 referrals a month are coming off of social media. And in any given week, probably inside of 18 hours, she's doing 20 guests. Now it's new language. Photo shoot to guest count is she's doing about 10 photo shoots on 20 guests. So about half of her guests are having a photo shoot experience. And I love her rule of thumb. Look at this. Every high-end guest gets a photo shoot. She takes a minimum of 5 pictures, probably 3 or 4 poses per shoot. Half of the guests that she's doing photo shoots, you're going to find that content reposted on her page. I think that's partial in part why she's getting that high referral count. And so she's in the back, and we have her on the in our green room. We're going to bring her out, tell us a little about her story, because it's a real interesting, unique story. And then I'm going to have her tell us about how she's using Instagram to blow it up. So keep your fingers crossed that the Wi-Fi gods are nice tonight, and let's see if she's going to come. There she is now. Why don't you give it up for her, will you guys? How are you?
I'm good. How are
And
you?
I know you've been working. You know what off, and I think you told me like you just did your last client a few minutes ago. So you've had a very long day. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight, Sarah.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, listen, we got a lot to talk about, but I absolutely love your story about what your life was like before you decide to pivot well into your 20s and be a hairdresser. So get us started with that part.
Yeah, so after high school, I decided I wanted to go to college. I thought working with money would make me money, so I thought I would do accounting, finance, marketing. I was always interested in things like that, anyways, in business. So I did that. I worked with people and did that for 6 years, and it's not fun. It's boring, and it doesn't really speak to me and what I want to do with my life. So I took a really big risk and thought I would change and just do something different, and I love it, and I'm so glad that I did. I'm so glad that I made the decision to change careers because it's totally worth it. I enjoy what I get to do every day, not what I was doing before.
I love that part because it's got to be. So what you're telling us is, out of high school, you go to college, you get a 4-year, what is it, Bachelor of Science degree in business finance, and you're an accountant for what, 5 or 6 years?
Yeah.
So I mean, how did you, who paid that tuition? Was it government loans and Pell Grants, or because now you got debt from that?
Yeah, so I had a lot of student loan debt. My parents paid. Actually, right after I finished college, I was like, Dad, why don't I go to hair school? I think this is something I want to try. And he was like, no, I paid all this money for you to go to school. You're going to go get a job and you're going to do this. And I was like, you're right. That's a good point. So I'm going to do that. And I did it. And I still think he thinks it's funny that I ended up coming back to it after all these years. Maybe he should have just believed in me then, but I didn't need it. So here we are.
How old were you when you decided that you're not going to do, the career that you were degreed in to go to hair school? Like 20 what?
28.
Like 28 years old. So you're like, I'm a dad, so I'd be freaking if my kids say, oh my God, where's this going, right?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden you're going to City Point, and I just love that school. It's a summit school. Mm-hmm. So from there you go to Dr. Fly's.
Yep. And I went right into Dr. Fly's and did the associates program. We have some really great stylists here that I wanted to learn from. She's an amazing mentor, and that's the biggest reason that I chose the salon is that we do so much with our education, continuing growth, and things like that. That's important to me. I want to keep learning.
How did you get from City Point to Dr. Fly's? Did Robin come in and do a little class in the school? That you would go from City Point to Dr. Fly's, to me, is more than a coincidence.
I looked around at different salons, and I just kind of felt like I was most comfortable here, like I would fit in here. I came to my interview, and I really liked the environment, and I think that's the biggest important part to me was that I was going to enjoy the people I'm around, and I absolutely love all the girls that I work with. They make it so much fun to be here every day. So that had a big part to do with it. Robin's an amazing coach, owner, mentor, friend, just person to have in your life. It's easy to succeed when you have people in your life that support you and want to see you do great things.
Yeah, so. I mean, when you and I were chatting, I love that part because you had this intuitive hunch. It was a calling of your soul to be a hairdresser. You go from City Point to Dr. Fly's, and you're around this amazing culture. You're an associate. Whose associate were you, by the way? Who?
Oh, Arista Ramsey.
Yeah, and so you're inspired by that. So it sounded like to me that whatever potentiality you saw in this before going to Dr. Fly's, it like blew the sides out of your brain box and went, oh my God, like this could be like I'm going to strike oil here.
Yeah.
So somewhere in that ride though, Sarah, you decide that you're, in addition to going to hair school, you're going to go back and get your Esti license. What inspired that?
I was always really interested in the skincare part of it, but like I said, I wanted to be able to get my head wrapped around the hair part of it. I spent so much time learning about all that I wanted to really get a good get my feet in the water on the hair side of it before I just jumped into a whole different side of things. I wanted to really get comfortable with doing the hair, feel comfortable here in the salon and the people I was working with. And then once I did that, I decided I wanted to go back and do the Esti program and just really dig down deep and learn all that about the skin. It's so interesting.
That's big. I think when you and I were chatting before the show, I said I could probably count on 3 or 4 fingers the number of hairdressers I know that are on that trajectory. They went to hair school, they did some hair, they decide to get into like eyebrow work and facial work, Esti work, and they go back and get that training. And when they got that and put it on top of the hairdressing, it just blew their income to kingdom come. I mean, it's huge.
Yeah, I think we were talking earlier too about just being able to incorporate some of those things in so far that have been really helpful as far as the money goes too.
So you're on the back end. I think you told me you're gonna get your Esti license in May if things go well.
Mhm. Yep, yeah, I'll
And,
have that all completed.
and then you also said that as you're going to school, you're actually earning more as you're learning more. So like this
Yeah.
year, you're on a trajectory to triple your income. You and I have a bet that you're going to probably
Mhm.
end up somewhere between 55 and 60 grand on a W-2 income. So what's it
Yep.
like to be you now? I mean, like you've been on this amazing path. Like, how's this changed your life?
It has a lot. Like I have more confidence just coming into work every day. I enjoy what I get to do. I enjoy the people I'm around. I'm making good money, and it's fun to make the good money and like what you do to earn the money. So that's not what I was doing before. I didn't enjoy the work I did to make that money. Now I get to come to work every day and literally love what I do.
Yeah,
So
I mean that was the biggie. That was that. As I'm getting to know you, it's like I love what I do so much more than what I was doing. That
hmm
that that. that but
it was
and
totally worth the risk, and I was scared. I was definitely scared to change
oh,
everything, but yeah, it was definitely
it
worth
takes extraordinary courage to be in the debt that we incur when you get a 4 year degree and be
Yeah.
5 to 6 years into your life and you decide that you're going to do something as radical as what you did. That's not for the faint of heart. So, and
Yeah.
you're making it. I think you're demonstrating now to yourself, your parents, your family of origin that there was a method to your madness here.
Yeah. And honestly, I think having all of that business and finance knowledge doesn't hurt me in this career anyways. I have a skill now to package with that knowledge and information and just, it'll just make it that much better.
Oh,
So
yeah. I think the combination of I'm really serious about this, and you bring an appreciation and a consciousness of that there's a business side of the art. All of this is helping you in ways that are just beginning for you. So,
yeah.
kudos to you. So, you and I were chatting. I said, "Hey, where do you go from here? Like, what's the rest of this year, next year?" And you said you have more education in your
Yeah.
vision. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I'm going to finish up Esti stuff, but I'm still a cosmetologist at heart too, and there's still more education out there for that. I want to do more Redken classes. I want to learn all the things about hair. There's still things that I'm not 100% comfortable doing that I, still want more education on, and there's still things that change that you always have to keep up with. So I
Yeah.
love learning. Probably why I spent so much of my life in school, but
That's all
I
right.
like to do it.
Well, you're a Jedi now, both in Esti and hair, as people are going to see in a second. You're now going to go to a fourth and fifth degree, black belt in both of those. So I see you hanging out in six figures, W-2 in the next probably 18 to 24 months. So stay tuned. More will be revealed. One
Nice.
last question I want to ask before we get into your social. What do you have to say to all the people that are at where you used to be just a couple of years ago as they're watching this that might give them inspiration and hope?
Just stick with it and keep showing up every day, no matter what. Everybody makes mistakes, and as long as you just keep trying and stay focused, stay with people that are going to support you, you're going to do a great
I
job.
love it. I absolutely love it. Now, we got about 5 minutes left, and I want to do a tutorial on all of this amazing stuff that you're doing on Instagram. So,
Okay.
tell us about? I'm bringing us to your page now. So as you're kind of telling us about how you're using Instagram, people can actually see your work.
So I like to keep a good mixture in my grid of things that I do because I do so many different things. I want people to know that I do the lashes, the eyebrows, the hair. I want you to know when you look at my page that I can do all of those things for you. And then on the highlights, I just like to add in some little videos or some clips or something, especially like on those lash extensions, because so many people apply them improperly that you should know that the person you're seeing knows what they're doing. So feel free to put clips and videos and things like that, just so people feel comfortable with you.
Yeah, and I'm actually I want to show this. I just love this eyelash highlight. I've got it next to the camera where your eyelash, and it's not that, it's, what is it, a 5-10 second, but you
Yeah.
actually see the operation.
Yeah. Do you know how many clips I took to get that? So many. And then rewatched. It was crazy.
So this is really some video footage. What did you just use your mobile device and your video app until you got it just right? And then,
Well, I actually have a friend set and take clips for me while I do a service. And then I go back through and just find my favorite ones and turn them into highlights.
so I actually did a freeze frame on this. So you had your friend take the video, and
Mhm.
what is it? I mean, it looks like it's got just one slide. It looks like it's about a 10-second,
Mhm.
a 10-second clip, but it's just enough that when you see it, if you're a potential guest, it's like,
Mhm.
oh, so that's how they do that.
Yeah. And even if that, it makes you a little more curious about it, so people ask questions. So,
Oh, way, way, way curious. And so you got one on eyelashes, you got one on waxing, and then it looks like you got one, two, you got three of your highlights are on your Esti services, and then you've got, it looks like three more: vivid hair, balayage, and then I think you got two balayage highlights. So you really do mix it up really, really good.
yeah.
So the other thing that I found really, really interesting about your profile, Sarah, is you said to me that if you did 20 guests a week, you're doing 10 photo shoots. So your photo shoot to guest count's about half, 50%. And that half of the clients that you're taking pictures of are actually either reposting on their page or taking
Mhm.
selfies and reposting and then tagging you. That tells me
Yep.
you're staying close to those pages to watch the engagement. Talk
Yeah.
about that and in your own opinion, how important that is or how big of a difference that makes to your 17 referrals a month.
I mean, it makes a huge difference. It's just like word of mouth. It's just over the internet, The more people see and hear about you and talk about you, the more people know about you. So I don't know how many people go around and tell me about how I do their lashes, and I just think it's funny, but it's cool. That's how I get all these clients because they like to talk about it.
Well,
So
I loved how you put that because it's word of mouth, but on the internet. It's word of mouth on
yeah.
Instagram. So when one client reposts a picture, they're probably telling, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 clients with that post, gee, go see Sarah.
Mhm.
Gone are the old days where they actually had to have a conversation with 20
Yeah.
different people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's easy just to go online and see what people have and ask where they got it, and as long as you're doing a good job and people see that you do good work consistently, people are going to come in.
Right. Well, you're definitely pioneering whether we're looking at highlights or your grids, and especially now you're actually taking your SD services. And you said something to me in your interview. You said, I'm not waiting. Like when I go to school every day and I'm learning SD work, like I come back to the salon and like I'm
Hmm.
implementing that like right now. So and it really is apparent when I look at your grids, at least half of your work are it looks like lash lifts and microblading. What are the other eye services that you offer?
Extensions, I do dermaplaning. I already do a lot of facial services. So with the aesthetics license, I'm going to incorporate more machines, hydrofacials, and things like that I'll be able to do, which I'm excited about. Can't wait, honestly, for May and the summer to get here so I can really kick things off.
Well, we're running out of time. I want to stay really close to you because, like I said at the beginning of the interview, I can count on 3 or 4 fingers the number of summit stylists that just decided I want to be as good at SD work, specifically, eye services, whether it's microblading, lash lifting, those are high
Mhm.
ticket
Yeah.
services, and it sounds like now you're integrating them with your higher ticket color services. You're going to go to Redken Exchange. You're going to get certified in color. So I think that's a whole new platform blueprint that you're innovating, discovering, pioneering, incubating,
Mhm.
whatever the heck you want to call it. I want to stay close to you this year because we got 3 more quarters left, and I think you're going to blow it up. I think what you're doing is unprecedented.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited and I'm going to win that bet.
I know you are. Well, I'll stay close to you. Tell hi to Robin. Tell all my buddies at Dr. Flies I love them. Thank you again for being on with us tonight because I know it was a long day. What time did you start your day?
9 o'clock this morning.
Oh, it's been a long day, and then you give us
Yep.
30 minutes of your time. So thank you very much. You did a great job. We're going to give it up for you one more time. They're giving it up for you, Sarah. So
Thank
thanks a
you.
lot,
All
and we'll talk some more.
right. Sounds good.
All right, see ya. I'm going to wrap it up,
Bye.
and I'm going to tell the group what I told you, what you told them. All right, you guys, did you like? I really want to make sure that you're getting, you know, what she where she was taking us tonight. And then what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to see if I can get my iPad to to really bring us up to so that I can show you what we got cooking here. Here we go. I want to bring you to her page on my screen because it's just too darn good to not show you. Here it is. Okay, got it. So you want to start following her, and it's Sarah underscore Dr. Flies. I want you to really watch what she's doing. This eyelash highlight that she did, it's only a 10-second. So she used her video app. Somebody was recording that, and you can see. I'm going to bring it to you again. I'm going to put it on pause so you can so that the guest. This is for the guests, you guys, to see the service. That's what's blowing up her income there. And then whoop, it looks like my probably there it brought it back again. So I really I wanted to also show you what she's doing with her waxing services. I mean, it's really, this is just these 2 slides and what she's doing, and it's promoting. And again, this is a hairdresser now that's going to Esti school. This is blowing up her income. So, and then you could see what she's doing and how she's posting her prices as well. Then when you look at her grids, you got 15 pieces of work here, but this entire grid, with the exception of what is it, 2 pieces of work. Actually 2 pieces of work. They got 2 pieces of work here is hair, and then she's promoting lash lifts, microblading, and then as we scroll down, you can see she's mixing it up. And she said to us, look, I'm going to school getting my Esti license, but I'm not waiting to get my license to begin integrating this into her menu. So I just think it's extraordinary what she's doing. And it's going to be interesting to, as I said to her, I'll say it to you, I can count on 3 or 4 fingers number of summit stylists that are doing this. But it's just amazing. She's booking herself, branding herself as a lash master. She's also a hair artist, and she's on her way of becoming a Redken color master as well. So give it up for her one more time, you guys. It was just an amazing interview. So what I want to do is I'm going to kill this and bring up my other PowerPoint slide. I'm just like geeking out here tonight, aren't I? So and really talk about where we went tonight with it. And if you're new to us, now I'm kind of waiting for my PowerPoint to come back. Let's see if it's gonna do this. Help me out. Anyway, I want to thank our sponsors tonight for all the work that they did, and AirPlay unable to connect to the studio. So Wi-Fi gods are not nice to Michael tonight, but here it is. I finally get to see if you geek out with it long enough, it'll behave itself. So I really wanted to, as I always do, if you're new to us, you want to be hanging out on our page. The Michael Cole Summit page really is continuing to become the social media salon learning channel for all of us that really want to get more into not only social media, but the whole social digital age. And the Sarahs of the world are really inspiring us on how they're using that media to blow up their income. We do this every Thursday night at 8 o'clock Central, so hang out with us there. Also, you can hang out, and that's Michael Cole Summit is our Facebook name. Michael Cole Summit is also our Instagram handle, and I'm blogging on that probably 2-3 times a day, using that for more inspirational posting and slogans, etc. You should be living on SummitSalon.com. On SummitSalon.com, there's just too much cool stuff that you can get at no charge. So browse, crawl our website, and get to our product page. This is our new script guide Social Digital Script Guy. Patty Kobe, thanks for the testimony on this. People, this is serving, it's like blowing off the doors on helping people to learn how to use social media to blow up their income. Social Digital Planner now is what we're using to using our downtime to learn social media so that we can use future downtime and social media there strategically to make more money. Also on that same website, we've got a new website called SummitSalon365.com, where it is watching our video tutorials. It's a membership. It's a membership website. Look into it. We've got like just 3 huge bodies of knowledge that you can watch. I call it our Summit Netflix channel. So that's always cool to watch as well. We are moving rapidly into digital consulting, online classes. So we now have a social media group. And if you call us on our 800 line, we would be more than happy to give you a complimentary interview and show you what's possible for you as well. All of the videos, all of the interviews that I do are recorded. They live on this page. We edit them down, we put them into micro learning, and then we repost them on SummitSalon.com's YouTube page. So you can watch them at no charge. Or if you want to, you can Bluetooth your car to Bluetooth your mobile device to your car and experience them as a podcast. So there's no darn reason at all why you don't want to be taking advantage of this. We have mobile calculators now that are free that basically help you to set up day goals on service and retail, on how much money do I need to make to fund my life, and then if I want to take my life up, how much more money do I want to make so that I can begin controlling my life rather than to be controlled by my life, as well as our digital tracking. This is what we call our Measure What We Treasure. I show this to you online because it's all for free, because of our work that's being sponsored by L'Oreal Professional and Salon Centric and State and RDA. Their monies help us to develop these kinds of technologies so that people like you can get all this online and blow up your income. And if you've been hanging out with us, you know the story as well. So, great show tonight. Thanks again, Sarah, for hanging out with us. Your interview was nothing short of remarkable. So let's give it up for one more time, will you guys? And I'm going to wish you a great night and say goodbye.